So I think you have already installed the software, isn't it? So the video will be anyway shared to you, so it's better if you watch today, okay? And whatever I am drawing, you just carefully watch how the tools are used, okay? Later on you can practice. Otherwise, if you try to like draw along with me, then it will be difficult, okay? So whatever the button I will be clicking, I will tell it loudly so that it gets recorded, and for later references it will be easier for you, okay? So let's start. So before drawing 2D, you should know how to draw, objects in before drawing in 3D, you should know how to draw objects in 2D. So AutoCAD, as I said yesterday, it allows you to draw both 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional figures, and for that it has some workspace, okay? This is how AutoCAD looks like when you enter, and here at the bottom, if you see, there is one workspace switching option, just like the settings icon in your mobile phone, okay? So if you click there, you will see there are many options. So whenever you are drawing objects in 2D, it should be in the clicked here, drafting and annotation, okay? And whenever you are drawing in 3D, it should be clicked in 3D modeling, okay? So let's, so it is already clicked in drafting and modeling. So this is the first step, okay? And after that it's the second step that you have to do is setting your space. Setting your space means like you don't know how much this distance, say from here to here, you don't know what is this distance, okay? So if I click on the line, and if I go from here to here, okay, if I go from here to here, it will be like this. That means I have almost captured my entire screen, okay? But if you zoom out, it will be looking like this, okay? Or if you say zoom in, then the line will be even longer this time, okay? So you see these two lines, they are not of the same distance, although we drew the line from this point to that point, isn't it? So setting the space, okay, setting the space is very important. So for that, the first step, first step is of course setting the workspace to 2D drafting and annotation. Second step will be limiting by space, and in order to do that, you have to type MV setup, where there is a box at the bottom. So you go and you click here, type a command, so you can type here. So actually what happens, you can draw a line from by clicking here like this, okay? And you can use the command also, say line, I can write line, so then also you can draw. So so we will use, since finding MV setup somewhere here, it's again very difficult because there are many toolbars. So inside home it will be like this, insert, annotate, like that. So we will be using the command MV setup, okay? Write MV setup, then click enter, then it will ask enable paper space, yes or no. You have to click no. So just writing the first letter of no is sufficient, okay? So you can type N and then enter. It will understand that you are like meaning no, okay? And enter. Then it is asking unit type. So unit type, generally we go for metric, okay? So write M, then enter. Then it is asking for scale. Scale you already know. During engineering graphics you have learned what is scale. So 1:5, or that means if you are drawing 20 centimeter, it should be 20 centimeter on the paper also. Then we have to use the number 1, that is full. So write 1, then enter. Okay, now it is asking for paper width and paper height. It will ask, suppose you are using a A4 size paper. So A4 size paper is generally like 297 to 327 like that. So let's write say 200 by 300. Okay, 200, then height say 300. Okay, so like it's not A4, say legal size paper. So this is my space. Now if I draw my line from here to here, I know what will be the length. What will be the length? What will be the length of this line? It will be less than 200, isn't it? Of course it will be less than 200. So let's see, if I take my line here, let me delete this. Okay, you can use the delete switch on the keyboard, delete. So click line, then say from here to here. I am not writing that, say let's say this way 200. You see, this line has been formed. Okay, but there is a problem. What is the problem? That the line should be parallel to this line. You see, sometimes if you have to draw a line which is not always parallel but making an angle to with the horizontal line, with the x-axis, say 30 degree, and you know the length, then how will you draw? So in that case, what you have to do, you have to simply click on line, select the first point, then you have to write the distance, say 100, then not enter. Okay, not enter, you have to press tab, the tab button on your keyboard. Press enter here. Wait. 100. Oh, it's not working. Okay, we'll come back to that, but it should have worked. That tab button is not working, then it will be difficult to draw lines like that. No? Let's use the command and see, can you draw? No, it's not working. Anyway, now there is an option, which here if you see, it says ortho mode. So ortho mode means perpendicular. So perpendicular mode, if you keep it on, that means if you click this, okay, now you see it has been highlighted with a blue color. So if you click this and then you try to draw lines, then it will be always parallel. If I try to draw a line in this angle, it is not coming. You see, it is not coming. So if you click here, if you go here like that, it will be always perpendicular lines. Okay, so that is when sometimes, when you are drawing lines and your ortho mode is not on, then what happens, you try to draw a line like this, and you are not sure whether this line is parallel or it's making 0 degree with here or not. It is of course not making an angle of 0 degree. So every time, now this is not working, I don't know why. Okay, anyway, so if you keep this auto mode on, then your lines will be always perpendicular with each other. Okay, next is polyline. Polyline is like, it's a combination of line, arc, any kind of structure it can be drawn. So suppose I have to draw one rectangle. So what I will do, if I know that my rectangle size is like 50 by 100, then what will I do? I will click on line here. If I know my point, that it starts somewhere from here, then I will click here. Then I will click my ortho mode. Ortho mode is on. Then I will type 50 here. Okay, then I will go this way. Then again I will type 100. Then this way I will type 50 again, and this way you can just click here. Okay, and again you can write down 100. It will get automatically joined. Okay, but if you click on the structure, structure, you will see that all the lines are separate. This line is separate, this line is separate, this line is separate. Okay, so but if you use a polyline, then it would be a complete, the same line will continue. So 50, okay, this way 100, then this way 50, and this way 100. Okay, so if you see, this is a continuous line. That means this is one line. It's not like that you cannot join these lines. There is a tool called join. If you write join here, okay, you can go to modify and you can click here, this join. You can click here. Okay, you can click here, join, and then click on the objects. You see, whenever you click any of this icon, or whenever you write any command, it will automatically help you in the command box. It will, you see what it is asking. It is asking select source object or multiple objects to join at once. So it is asking for the source objects. So you can select this, select this, select this, and select this. Okay, selected. Now it's a total four total objects are selected. Now click enter. Now these are joined. You see, this is now a continuous object. Now the function of polyline is not only that. What you can do, suppose you are drawing a line. Okay, you are drawing a line. Let me put my auto mode off. You are going it like this, and like this. Suddenly, suppose this is a road. Suddenly there is a curvature. Okay, so the curvature has to be like a part of a circle. So what you can do, you can right click and click on arc. Okay, then you see this is an arc will be created. So it will be now onwards it will be arc like that. Then again, if you go and select right the line, then it will be a line. Okay, enter. So this entire object is one line, but it is continuous. Okay, they are like mixture of arc, line, and all those things, but they are continuous in nature. So again, one thing you can do in polyline, if we like right start and say right click and width, if I provide say 10 mm, okay, then you see all my this line should be having a width of 10 mm. Like that also you can draw. Okay, now polyline is alright. Then let's come to circle. Now in circle, if you see, there are many options: center radius, center diameter, 2 point, 3 point, tangent, tangent, radius, tangent, tangent, tangent. Okay, and one more thing you have to remember, that in AutoCAD you cannot draw point. You cannot draw point in AutoCAD. So if you have to like suppose my point, you know that your circle starts from somewhere here, but you don't know from which point. So you have to like draw a reference line. Okay, my reference line is like this. Then it is like from the midpoint, it is at a distance of say 30. Okay, so from here my circle will start. Then you can delete the lines later, but for reference you have to draw lines, because the end point, midpoint, all those things can be snapped. What is snapping I will tell you in a while, but just remember that you cannot draw point, and points will be directed by ending point or midpoint of lines. So you have to draw lines to get point. Okay, so now center radius, if you click here, then you have to you see what is asking: specify center point of the circle. So you select the center point. You can select here, you can select here. The triangular means the midpoint. You can select this point, you can select this again, this point. End points are generally shown by rectangle, green rectangle, but anyway let's select here. Now you can stop anywhere by clicking, okay, left clicking anywhere, or you can specify the radius. If you see here what is asking, specify radius of the circle. So if I specify my radius as say 28, then you see it will go and stop here. Okay, are you getting? Similarly you can go for center diameter. That means you click here, you diameter, let's write 15, then it will directly touch there. Sorry, diameter has to be 60, isn't it? Diameter has to be 60. Okay, now other things like 2 point. That means if you know these 2 points, then also so this point and this point. Okay, this point or this point, this point or this point. So you can select any 2 points like this. Okay, that way also you can draw a circle. Then 3 point, you have to select 3 point, this point, this point, and the third point. Say this point, say this point. Okay, it's up to you. Okay, then tangent, tangent, radius. If you know one tangent is this, one tangent is this, and radius, now you have to specify the radius. Radius, suppose you write say 20. Okay, drawn. Suppose you don't know the radius, but there is another tangent here. Okay, I have to switch my auto mode off. Okay, there is. So say yeah, the last one, tangent, tangent, tangent. So I will choose this tangent, and this tangent. Okay, got it? So that's how you draw a circle. Similarly arc. In arc also there are many options depending upon the situation. You can choose any one. If you know 3 points, that means you know this point, you know this point, and you know this point, you can draw the arc. Okay, if you know the start, center, and end, that means you know my starting point should be this, my end point should be this, and my center should be this. Okay, then also another arc will be formed. So depending upon the situation, you can choose any of this arc. Okay, then similarly you can draw rectangle directly instead of drawing lines and joining it. Simply if I click on rectangle, you see it is asking specified first center point. Okay, my first center point suppose here. Now you can draw my rectangle. Now it is asking for specify other corner point. So other corner point I may write say 30, okay, and automatically it has selected 30, and wherever I was placing it, it is taking. But if I have to give my like breadth also, then also I can use. So then in that case I have to write in this format 30, 50. Okay, so this is 30, this is 50. All right. Similarly, you can draw polygons. So it is asking polygons number of sides. So number of sides, let me write say 7. So 7. Specify center of the polygon. Everything will be having a center, just like a circle. So then it is asking whether you want inscribed in circle, or that means it is asking for the circle. So if I like want to have an inscribed circle inside the polygon, then I will choose I, okay, or circumscribed, then I have to select C. So I, and then automatically you see, depending upon the specify the radius, and it will be selected. Okay, so that's how you draw polygons. Similarly, you can draw ellipse, center, if you know endpoint, and like that you can control the major axis and minor axis. So you write and you can draw. Okay, so these things are for drawing, and this is sufficient. Okay, these things are sufficient to draw anything. Okay, but in order to give some shape, some good shape, you have to use this modification options. Okay, so these are very important, you pay attention here. Now suppose here what I have done, I have drawn one arc here, okay, my arc here, but this arc was actually, it should have been drawn here from this point like this. Okay, so instead of drawing again, what I can do, I can simply move. So click on move, click on the object, okay, click enter, then the base point means the point which you want to like move. So I will select this point, then I will take and I will select here, then I will simply leave. See, this has been moved. Okay, it has been moved. Now similarly rotate, that means this semicircle should have been rotated like this. Okay, then you can simply select rotate, and here all the things have to be rotated. So what I will do, I will select everything. Not everything has been selected, because you see the highlighted portions are shown as blue, so this has been left out. So you can select it like this also, like this also. Now everything has been selected. Okay, everything has been selected. So press enter, then the base point, that means like pivoting around which point you want to rotate. So you see, like that you can rotate. It is asking for rotation angle. So this way, if I write down 90, so automatically it gets rotated by an angle of 90 degree. Okay, so again I want to move all these objects. Okay, so move from here to here. Okay, so move and rotate you have understood. Then copy. Suppose you want to copy this thing. Okay, you want to make a copy of say this again here. So move was like cut. So if you want to use copy, click on copy, then click on the objects, say this as well as say this. Okay, this, then enter, then the point here, the base point. Okay, and you want to move here, you want to place here, you want to place here, like that also you can place, and after copying you can press enter. done. Okay. Stretch is not that useful sometimes, you know, to like, you know, make the rectangle, the width of the rectangle more, you can go for stretching, but it's not that important. So if you know these things, it's okay. Scaling, stretching, it's not that important, but if you want, I can show. Say suppose I write scale, so scale, that means here and here I can select, enter, specify the base point. If I select my base point here, now it will asking the scale factor. If I write 2, then it will be get magnified by, you know, it will get doubled in size. If it is like if I provide my scale factor as 0.5, it will be half of its size. Okay, as simple as that. Mirror. Okay, mirror is very useful. When you see any, you know, symmetric object, then it is always better to draw only one half to, you know, save your time. Okay, if you draw one half with much accuracy and precision, then the second portion can be, you know, formed as a mirror image of that. So suppose there was a full circle, okay, and this was like symmetric, then what I will do, I have already drawn my semicircle, so I will simply, you know, form one mirror image here like this. So for that I will click on mirror. Mirror is clicked. Now it is asking for the, you know, objects which you want to like form as mirror. So this as well as this you can select or you cannot select, that's up to you, because this will get you know, overlapped. This line will get overlapped anyway. So I have selected only this. Okay, and then enter. Then it is asking the first point of the mirror line. So the first point, if I select here, now depending upon where you place your second point of the mirror, you can draw your mirror image anywhere. So if you want my circle, then the second point should be drawn here. Okay, end point. Now it is asking whether you want to erase the source object. That means only you, that means whether you want to only the mirror object and the source will get deleted. So no, I want the source object as well. So I will write no n and enter. Okay, so you see that was not a perfect circle. Okay, semicircle. That's why it's not coming as a circle. But anyway, you got my point. Okay. Now trim, and in trim there is another option called extend. Now what is trim and extend? Let's see. Let's delete this. Now you see this portion is like going out of the circle, but you want to remove this thing. Okay, this portion which is going out. But if you want to like delete that portion, then if you click here, then the entire line is getting selected. If I delete, my entire line will get deleted, but I don't want that. I want only that portion to get deleted. So what I will do, I will select on trim. Trim is automatically getting selected here. If you click extend, then extend will be the default option. So trim. So I can select trim, then right click anywhere on the window, it doesn't matter where, anywhere. Suppose here I will right click. Now it is asking which portion you want to erase. So if I select this, you see this portion will get selected. If I select this, like that. Such a powerful tool. So I will select this. Okay, that's been done. Okay, I can select this also. This will be removed. I will select this also, this will be removed. But this line, okay, this is getting trimmed here because there was some What is happening today? Anyway, okay, so trim you have understood. You can trim any of the objects here. You cannot trim the entire object. Okay, you cannot trim the entire object. It has to get bisected somewhere. Okay, if the situation is like this, this is my line, say this is my circle. Okay, this is my center radius, this is my circle. Then only you can use the option trim. Right click here. Something is happening, you know, when this 2D and 3D options are explored now. Generally it doesn't happen. When you click on trim, this entire thing gets deleted. Okay, now it's getting trimmed in some portions. Okay, not an issue. Okay, then let's learn extend. So if you have to use the option of extend, then suppose there is a line here, there is a line here, okay, there is a line here, and you want to extend this circle to the portion where it comes and join this line. Okay, so in that case what will happen, you now have to draw another circle again, which is not possible. It's possible, but it is time consuming, and it will get overlapped with the existing arc also. So in that case, simply you can use the option of extend, then right click anywhere and then click here. You see it is getting extended. So again you select, it is getting extended. Again it is getting extended. Okay, it is getting extended like that. Okay, similarly there is a line here. Okay, there is another line here. You don't know the angle of this line, you don't know the angle of this line. So if you want to draw another line here, so you don't know whether this line will be like in the same, you know, making it will be making the same angle or not. So in that case you can simply make use of this extend. Right click, click here. Okay, like that. Okay, that is extend. Now fillet, fillet, you know, it's like let me draw an rectangle first. Okay, then we'll be able to understand it. Suppose this is a rectangle. So in this rectangle, this portion is like this corners are, they are not smooth, they are sharp. So you have seen in many cases the corners are rounded, generally in tables. Okay, you have rounded corners, and sometimes it is cut here like this. So if you know, there are three options. First two you concentrate, fillet and chamfer. So fillet, if you use the fillet, then you will have a rounded edge, and if you chamfer, you will have a cut edge like this. So let's learn fillet first. So in fillet, if you click on fillet, then it is asking for the first object. Okay, so the first object is, let's say, this, and wait let right click, radius say 20, then first object, second object. Yeah, so after clicking on fillet, you have to right click, and you have to select radius of the fillet. Okay, if I select radius, then it will ask how much radius, means if this is a like you know, curvature, then of course there will be a center, and from the center to this part of the circle, you know, what is the radius that it is asking. Say if I provide a radius of say say 30, okay, 30, enter, then it is asking the first object. So the first object say this one. Okay, it is asking for the second object is say this one. You see automatically. So it is a circle, a part of a circle has been formed, and this circle has a radius of 30. That means somewhere here the center will be there, and from the center to this circle the distance is 30. Okay, so that is fillet. Similarly, chamfer, you can select chamfer, then right click and distance. So in chamfer there will be two distance. Okay, you can cut equally or you can have unequal chamfer as well. So if I say write 10, okay, then enter, then second chamfer if I write 20, enter, then it will ask first line and second line. Now if I choose from here, if I select as this my first line, then it will come at a distance of 10 from this joining point here. Okay, if I choose my first object this line, then it will go 10 here and 20 will be there. So it will be like this. So let's select this only as my first object, and my second object is this. Okay, clicked, done. You see 10, 20. So an unequal cut has been applied. Okay. Then array are again of many types: rectangular array, path array. That means suppose there is a small circle here, and I want these circles at every 10 mm or every say 20 mm distance from center to center. So you don't have to copy it. Okay, simply you can choose this path array. You can select path array, then select the object that you want to copy, this, and enter, then select the path curve. So this entire curve will get selected. Now you see. Okay, so the items in between, what is the gap, automatically they are calculating. So suppose you want 3 rows. Okay, one here, one here, one here, like that. So you can write 3 rows here. So close array. So it is going inside. Anyway, 3 rows will be selected. Okay, so that is array. Rectangular array will work only in case of a rectangle like this. See, whenever you click here, automatically it will show you the help. Okay, in path array, if you press here, so automatically it is showing what is path array. So there will be one object and it will go like this. That is path array. Rectangular array, if you click here, then it is showing one object is there, so it distributes in a rectangular fashion, rows and columns like that. So you can explore these things. Then this one is explode. Explode is like the opposite of join. Join we have seen, if the lines are separate then it gets joined. Now in case of this is a continuous, it's a continuous line because it was a rectangle, if you remember. Now if you want to like have different lines, individual lines in this case, then you can explode this item. So click on explode, then enter, click the object, then enter. Then you see these lines, they are now separated. Everything is separated. Okay, again you want to join, you can join. You have to join this, or you can join only these things, these 3 also joined. You see, this will be joined, so that when you have to move, you can simply, like if you want to move, then this object, okay, like this you can move. Now these things are like the tools. knowing the tools is a different thing, and using the tool to draw the object, you need to have like a good IQ. Okay, knowing and applying are two separate things. You may know everything, but at the right situation, which tool should be used, okay, which tool will save time, that you have to decide on your own. Okay, so these are the tools that I have shown, and if I have to show how to give dimensions, that also can be done. So like dimensions, although that things is like not important from 3D printing point of view, but dimensions can be given like from here to here. Okay, you see dimensions are given, but you know, in this case, suppose I want my arrow to be big. It is coming as 49,53, which is actually 49.53. so that comma should be replaced by, you know, your dot. So all those things can be done if you want to modify. So for modifications, you can click here, and here if you click there, you can have all the options. Okay, like, so these things are already discussed in will be discussed in your AutoCAD class. Okay, in your engineering graphics subject, AutoCAD is a part, so as a part of that it will be discussed anyway. So I don't want to waste much time here, because it is dimensioning is not related to, you know, 3D printing in any way. We don't require dimensions will be there, you can draw, but dimensioning is not required. You don't have to show what is what. Okay, so these things can be, you know, drawn anyway. Okay, there are lots of videos in YouTube. If you want to learn like everything in AutoCAD, you can learn nowadays. Okay, so at least let's change this point, comma to point. So for that you have to go to here, decimal separator is comma, I have to place period, precision I don't want 53, that means only up to one digit here. Okay, arrows should be a little bigger, let's say 3.5. okay, the lines should be of different color, so I can select yellow. Okay, yellow. It's not coming. It's coming now. That means you have to select that, and you can do. But anyway, dimensioning is not that important from our course point of view. Okay, then let's draw something. Okay, let's draw something and see. Let's see how it's done. So what I will do, I will share two images. And share two images in your WhatsApp group. Okay, in your WhatsApp group, and you can have a look there. Okay, you can have a look. You received? Have you received?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's draw the Android model first, then we can draw the bulb. Okay, so the first step was the workspace. I think it's drafting in annotation by default. Then the second step was MV setup, then no, then metric, then 1, then paper width. Now here you have to see like how much, what should be the paper width here. You see the maximum dimension is like what will be the height of this figure, the Android one, 1146, like 60, 70, at max 80 or something. So we can take 150. Okay, 150 is width. Okay, 150 by 150 we can take 150 by 150. Okay, so my space has been created. Okay, now please mute yourself. Now you see this is a symmetric figure. So if my figure is symmetric, then what will I do? I will simply draw like 1/2 of it to save my time. Okay, the symmetric half, it can be the left half or it can be the right half, but I will spend my energy in creating only 1/2. The other half can be automatically drawn. Okay, so first thing is like let's draw one line here. Let's put my ortho mode on here. Okay. By the way, I didn't tell about snapping. So in snapping, everything, if we clicked this particular rectangle square box with a small square at the corner, this is snapping. So if you right click here, you will get these things. So everything should be clicked. Okay, everything should be clicked, midpoint, endpoint, then only your effort will be easier. Otherwise, see, if I don't, if now my snapping is off, so if I want to draw a line from this point to here, then you see there is no guiding box. So I say click here and I draw a line. Okay, all right. So do you think they are joined? Let's see. If you zoom, it's a good thing because AutoCAD nowadays is very smart one. But suppose my snapping is off. Okay, like that, or suppose here. It is very difficult, you see, if I zoom, they are not joining. Okay, from here it may look they are joining, but they are not. So it's always better to keep your snapping mode on. So if I keep my snapping on, then if I want to draw a line, automatically you see this box will get created, this green box. So if I click inside the green box, that means automatically it will be from the point. Okay, so this is my center line. Okay, this is my center line. Just for reference, the line is there. I can remove my line later on, but this is my center line. And let's draw from here. Say from any point I can draw. But what is the height of the leg? Height of the leg will be 11 plus how much? 11 plus how much? What will be its radius? Is the radius given? 6.25. Do you agree?
Yes, sir.
6.25 will be the radius of this. So okay, so I go above, say 12, what was it, 11 plus 6.25, how much it will be? 17.25. so 17.25 above. Okay, then come this way, how much? 25.5 divided by 2, that means 12.25 minus 6.25, so 6 basically. Do you agree? 6 like this. Okay, then come this way, how much? 11. Okay, then go this way, how much? 12.5. I am drawing its right leg. Okay, then again going this way, how much? 11. Okay, then let's leave it here only like that. Okay, now to draw the round portion of the lake at the bottom, what type of circle you will use? Can anybody tell what type of circle you will use?
Sir, 2 point,
2 point.
then
Okay,
trim the upper part.
yes, so 2 point, so this point and that point, then I can trim this portion. Okay, and this is a different line. I can select and delete. Okay, now how much should I go this way? Forget about this round portion, just tell me how much should I go this way. What is the I think it will be easier if I like draw a line from here, say from the midpoint was triangle, isn't it? So here, from here, what should be the length? 25, am I correct? If the total width is 50, it should be 25. And let's come this way. Okay, at anywhere I can stop. Okay, then I can draw like this, then I can trim. Understood? Are you getting what I am doing?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so
Yes, sir.
now what should I draw? The head. Let's move on to the head. So in order to draw the head, I can I can draw the full head also, there is no issue. I can trim it later. What is the gap? What is the gap? 3.8, right? So 3.8. So then this way I should come 25. Okay, all right. Now can I draw? Is it sufficient to draw the head? Do you think so? Yes, I can draw center radius. The radius is given, you see, r25. R25 means the radius is 25. So I can select here and write down 25 here. Okay, then simply trim this portion. Why it's not কিবা হৈছে অটোকেডৰ জেনেৰেলি গোটেই সব ট্ৰিম হৈ যায় তোমালোকৰ হ'ব মোৰ কিবা প্ৰবলেম দি আছে ওকে এইখিনিও ট্ৰিম কৰিব লাগিব I have to trim this portion as well. Okay, now let's draw its ear. Okay, এতিয়া মোৰটো লাইনডালৰ এংগল আহাই নাই এংগল দিবই পৰা নাই মই লাইনৰ সো চাও still try কৰি কিমান আছে height was like 13. okay, you see the height is like 13. okay, 13, but 13 is like including that round portion at the top. So the radius is showing 0.6. okay, so it will be 12.4 if I am not wrong, right? So I can't draw 12.4, and the tab is not working now, so I will write the angle from scale. তোমালোকৰ কাম কৰিব হা, if you press tab, the option of giving angle will automatically come, but মোটা দেখা নাই আহে আজি কিবা হোৱা নাই আৰু, but anyway you can write the angle here. So মই ইয়াতে I am just giving randomly like this, okay, like this 12.4. Then another, okay, there is another tool which is called offset. So if you click on offset, the offset distance is asked. So offset distance will be 1.2. Since the radius is 0.6, so I need a second line here at a distance of 1.2 from here. So 1.2. okay, select the object to offset here, then I can click here like this. okay, it has been offset. okay, now I have to move both these, okay, where to a distance of 8 from this point. okay, 8 from here, this way. So I have to move like this and this, then enter, then base this. okay, and then simply remove these things. This is not required now, this is not required now, and I have to draw again one circle here, which will be like 2 point. okay, then trim the portion, this portion, and I have to also trim this portion. This portion, this portion trimmed. Did you understand the entire process?
Yes, sir.
okay, so now let's look at the eye. So in order to look at the eye, it is at a distance of 11 and 11 in x-axis, 14 in y-axis, isn't it? So let's draw two lines here. So like it will be 11, then this way it will be 14. okay, this is my location of the eye. So I will select one circle will be like center radius, then because we cannot select point here, what is the phi means diameter, r means radius. So diameter is 5, diameter is 5, so what will be the radius will be 2.5. okay, 2.5, this. So after that I can delete this line. There is another line here which is overlapping, I can delete that line as well. okay, so that is fine. I have drawn this. Now only the arm is left. So what is the location of the arm? How to look at what is the total I can draw the arm anywhere, then I can move, na. So what is the total, you know, length of the arm? 30.8, and the size, the width will be how much? Who will tell me the width? Who will tell me the width? Tell me, what is the width of the arm?
So 3.6. No.
7.2.
2 into 3.6.
Yes, 7.2. So what I can do, I can like draw one rectangle. It's okay, I can draw one rectangle. Rectangle will be like 7.2. okay, tab person is not working, comma will not work. 7.2, let's see if comma works. Comma 30.8. no, it's not working. I have to draw a line only. Okay, so it's like 7.2 this way, then 30.8 this way, then again 7.2 again, and simply join. Alright, then 2-point arc. Okay, simply I can copy this, copy this point to this point, enter, then trim these portions, and these are lines. Okay, these portions. So my arm is ready. Just now we have to like I think it's at a distance of 6.6. okay, from here if I draw a line here, okay, from here at a distance of 6.6. am I correct? I have to select this, all this, and what will be, it's like 64.2. first let's look at the point to where it should be moved. So it is like 64.2 divided by 2, 32.1, okay, 32.1, and this way 6.6, 6.6. okay, let's remove this line. Let's join this, all this joint. Let's not join because I want this point. Okay, so move what, this, then move the center of the circle, base point, to this point. Am I correct? Are you following what I did here? So it says 6.6 from this line. Okay, is there anyone who didn't understand? Now I can delete this. Okay, now can I draw my mirror image? Yes, I can draw my mirror image. Select enter, then let's select everything. Okay, then one point maybe here, and then you can select anywhere here. Then let's remove this line. Second line, it got duplicated, so the second line we can use it as like the line is dotted, you see. So how to draw dotted lines? So you can click on the line, then by layer if you go, you will not see any kind of dotted lines. So here you have to select the second option. Okay, this is for the width of the line. The second option, this is for your type. So you click on others. The dotted option is not coming, so you will click on load. Now it is coming. Let's say select this ISO dash. Okay. Now if I double click here, this line properties will be popping up, and I can select this dotted line. Okay, this is a dotted line. Done. If you want to color it, there is an option of hatching. You can select hatch, gradient, then okay, let's select say this portion. Okay, the color can be solid, and by layer you can select the green. Okay, just giving you the idea that these things can be done. Alright, so have you understood now how AutoCAD works, how you can draw things? Now if you want to print it, okay, with your name written on it, so by the side of it, so click here, then single line text, then it is asking for the height, say here it will start from here, and the height is let's say 10 is the height. Okay, so where rotation is like 0. Now you can write down what you want to write. Say Android. Okay, then Android. Okay, then like that. Now if you want to print it, you have to select on layout 1. You see it's coming. Layout 2, it's like looking like this. This lines will not be appearing, you don't have to worry. It should not appear. Now I don't know. Now save as. Okay, save as yeah, I want a PDF file, suppose. So I have to export to PDF. Export to PDF. Desktop. Let's say this is my Android.pdf. This is it's coming. So you can submit your assignments like this. Okay, but suppose you want to save this, because in a single go you cannot draw complicated structures, so it may take days. So you want to save in between. You can go back to model. So here you can save as. Okay, save as drawing. So AutoCAD files are saved as DWG format. Okay, if you click on DWG format, then you can select anywhere, say Android. Okay, so you see AutoCAD 2018 drawing, DWG format. Okay, just save it. Okay, So you see Android. This one is the AutoCAD drawing. So if I closed by mistake, or say the second day, now I want to improve, I will come, I will select this drawing. Automatically it will get open through AutoCAD. You see, now you can continue from this part. Okay, understood? Now let's draw the second diagram. I can click here to add dry. Okay, second diagram. Okay, what was the second one? Was a bulb. Okay, a bulb. So it's like the radius is R60, okay, of the main portion, and it is continuous with another curve of radius R40. Okay, so the first, what is the first step? Who will help me? What is the first step in AutoCAD? How to start with? See, I am not used to passive listeners. Okay.
Sir, MB setup.
MB setup. So I will write MB setup. MB setup. Then no. Then metric 1 width. So who will tell me what should I take as width? What is the maximum width of this diagram? What is the maximum width?
60.
Width will be double.
A double of 60.
120.
Okay.
So let's say 150. Then height, maximum height is 185. So let's take 250. Okay, 250. Okay, my space is created. So now first let's draw a line. Okay, let's draw a line from the midpoint to this midpoint. Okay, and let's say a point from here. My auto mode is on, so let's start with the the black color person, or the main width of the filament, this holder part. So what was the width, total width of this? Should I write 25 here? 25. Okay, 25. Then it will go up. It will be 45. 45 minus 15, 30 plus 5, 35. Are you getting? 35. So let's stop here and I can extend this portion. Okay, then let's go down. It will be like 5 this side, then this side. Let's simply draw a line, we can trim it later. Then again 5 this side, and let's draw another line. This line. Then again it will be 5 this side, then another line. This last line will be of how much? 10. Am I correct? Will it be 10? 10. Okay. Then the second line, actually I should have drawn like the length from this point. What should be the length of the second line? It's 30. So 30 half will be 15. Okay, like this. Then this line it's like from this point I can connect this point. Okay. And this is already how much? 15. So it will be again 5 plus if it has goes to 20, right? So again 5 plus, then it will get connected here. Are you getting? You are getting, right? So next thing is, let's like create a mirror image of this. Okay, because I need to connect the first point and at a distance of 5. Let's create a mirror image. So let's draw a line of say 5. Okay, this. Now I have to join this and this. Okay. So the other things can be like drawn as offset. So I will use that offset. Okay, specify the offset distance. Distance will be 5. Okay, select the object to offset. This object has to be offset this way, then again this way, this way, this way, this way, this way. But you know it is going in an inclined manner, so I have to use the function trim and extend. So trim this portion, this portion, this portion, this, even this here. Okay, and extend it this way. Offset will not be a good idea, I think, because it's not joining. It's not joining. It's okay, leave it like this. Then another 5 this way, then this way it was how much? 50, and simply join it. Okay, then where my center is located, can I locate my center here now? I think it is at a distance of 77.5 minus 5 minus 2.5. Is it so? Do you think so? Where is my center of the main bulb? From here, at what distance? If you look at the diagram, it will be, I think, 77.5 minus 5 by 2, isn't it? So it will be 77.5 minus 2.5 will be 75. So 75 from this point 75. I have drawn one line, this line, so my endpoint can be snapped. So from here I have to draw a circle. This point, endpoint are rectangle. So what should be the radius is 60. Okay, right. Now I have to draw another circle, another curve here. Okay, what is its radius? Are 40. So which option should I take? Can anybody help me? Which option should I take to join these two? Anyone? Can anybody tell me which option should I take to join, this line?
Fillet.
Which one?
No idea, but it will fillet, I guess.
Can I select tangent radius? If I select tangent radius, I will select this line, and 40. Okay, so now I can trim this portion. এনেকে ট্ৰিম নহয় হা, তোমালোকে আৰু এইটো ট্ৰিমটো কিবা হৈছে, বেমাৰ লাগিছে ৰবা, তোমালোকে ট্ৰিম কৰিলে একেলগে হৈ যাব। ডিলিট নহয় আছে delete this, deleted, delete. Leave it. So I have to again trim this portion. Okay, so the other portion can be simply mirror imaged. This mirror imaged based on here to here. Okay, again let's trim this portion, this portion, this portion, this portion, and mirror image of this thing. Okay. Then I have to draw this portion at the top. What was the height? 20 this way, then 7.5 this way. Let's stop here and then extend that portion. I will draw only 1/2 to save my time. Okay, then 2.5 are you getting 2.5 I will have to go this way, and again this way I will have to go 2.5. okay, then this has to be joint. Okay, then next height is like 25. Okay, so this I have to draw from here 25. Okay, 25 is somewhere here. Okay, then again 2.5, and that is 5 line to go 2.5 and then 5 this way, again come back 2.5 and simply join. Alright, then how should I draw this arc? The center I know, na? This somewhere, yeah, this is my center. This is my center. From this center I have to like go this way, how much above 2.5, then 10 this way. I have to go 2.5 to the top and then 10 this way. Okay, so I will get this point. Similarly, I can simply copy this and I move. Okay, so I got my 2 point of the umbrella sort of thing, right? So from that I can draw one arc. My arc will be now 3-point arc. One will be this, one will be this, and the third will be this, isn't it? Similarly, I can't look at that point. That point will be like 50, 20 is this much, so this is like 10, so this is 25 minus 10 is 15, so another 15 from this point, another 15. Okay, so another 15, and we know we can look at the center here. 15 means okay, from this midpoint if I draw a line of 2.5, so I can draw my arc here, this point and this point. Okay, so it was actually 5, not 2.5. I made a mistake. It's actually 5, not 2.5. From here to 5. Okay, and from here 5 this way. So this arc is like here, here, here. Okay, and this arc is like from here, here, here. Okay, I can now join on this point. Auto mode off. I have to connect again the midpoint of this. The midpoint is triangle. I will connect here. Enter. So from here I have to connect somewhere here, midpoint, again midpoint. So here to midpoint. Done. Okay, so let's delete these things now. Delete these things. Okay, okay, let me keep this to have my mirror. So this, okay, this, this. Okay, this is sufficient. Mirror selected. First line of the mirror will be this point, and the second one will be this point. Done. It has to be now extended. This portion extended. This line will have to get deleted. This line will get deleted. This line will get deleted. This line will get deleted. It's complete, isn't it? I have to simply color this portion. Yes. Okay, so for coloring I have to go to gradient. Okay, then I have to select solid, use black like this. Alright, now the dimensions, if you want to give, the dimensions can be given. It's not a part, but I can show my dimensions here. This is R40. Okay. Similarly, radius again. This is R60. Okay. So all the dimensions can be shown. This point to this point 77, 5. This can be modified. Okay, so like that. So did you get the second diagram, how it has been completed? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Is there any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Are you listening?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Sir.
I am not. Okay, wait.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, is it clear? Please respond. I didn't hear your previous response.
Yes, sir.
You have understood, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these things are very interesting. Okay. Now how to develop these things in 3D? It's when you learn 2D, it becomes very easy. Okay. So I should not show, but still, if I just give you an overview how 3D is done. So this is my axis of rotation. Let's say this. Okay, let's remove these things. Remove the dimensions. তোমালোকে মাজতে যদি কিবা কৈছিলা মই শুনা নাই হা ভলিউমটো অফ হৈ আছিল কিবা সুধিছিলা নেকি মাজতে থাকিলে ৰিপিট কৰিবা একো নাই so this is I am drawing like in 2 dimension. So if I have to draw 3 dimensional, then what I can do, I can select this 3D modeling. Okay, so if you want to draw a the 3D model of this, then what you can do is using this revolve wait এটা portion delete কৰিম হা লোকৰ I have to trim this portion খিনি চাগে separate হৈ আছে already okay খিনি trim কৰিব লাগিব এটা থাকে let's remove these lines remove তোমালোকৰ এইটো প্ৰবলেম নহয় হা মোৰহে হৈ আছে লোকৰ ট্ৰিম কৰিলে একেলগে ট্ৰিম হৈ যাব এতিয়া let's go to 3D modeling again this portion is there come back to top view can you see evolve okay enter axis say this one realistic you see this is this portion now I can write give colors materials slow মাৰিছে ৰবা okay and this red color has been applied here and this color has been applied here like that this portion can also be given different color like that okay so anyway so this is a 3D model so you can create models like this from 3D diagrams 2D diagrams So that's why knowing 2D is important. So you see the most of the entire work, the 90% of the work was like involved while creating the 2D figure, and after that it's very easy. Okay, it's very easy to you can move these portions. Generally they are like it has to be unified, all the things have to be unified, then only now it can be moved. Okay. Now you can delete these portions. 2D figures, it will these things will be there. Can see. Okay, like that. So do you think, have you got confidence that you will be able to draw 2D 3D diagrams if you know 2D by now?
Yes, sir.
But it needs lots of practice. Your friends, seniors, they actually submitted lots of drawings, as a part of the assignment. For other sections I am not sure, E and F, okay, but section A, B and C, they don't have engineering graphics and design in this semester, so you learn these things in the second semester. Okay, but since you have enrolled, so I thought it will be a good idea to give you the basics. Okay, all right. Do you have any doubt? You can ask.
Sir, that 3D modeling you just taught, will you be teaching the same tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow
Yes,
I
sir.
will be dealing with mainly 3D. Okay, so this is just you see how many tools I have used in 3D in this, in order to build this diagram, in order to build this model. Only one, that is revolve. Okay, there are so many. Okay, press and pull, extrude, loft. So for complicated diagrams you have to use so many tools that ultimately you have to know other tools as well. So basically tomorrow I will not be teaching how I have drawn the 2D figure. I will assume that you know trim and all those things. আজি কি কৰিছো মই ট্ৰিম কৰোতে ট্ৰিম কৰিছো বুলি কৈ আছো, এক্সটেন্ড কৰোতে কৈছো, কি ক্লিক কৰিছো কৈ আছো, কিন্তু কালি মানে হেতু নকৰো আৰু ডাইৰেক্টলি ডায়াগ্ৰামটো ড্ৰ কৰিম, ড্ৰ কৰি 3D বস্তুবোৰত বেছি অলপ এমফাসাইজ কৰিম. ওকে, অলৰাইট. সো তোমালোকে প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিলে কৰিব পাৰা. প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰাৰ কাৰণে এটা ৱেবছাইট আছে, সেকশন ডি ষ্টুডেণ্টবোৰক সুধিলে গম পাবা. ওকে, pintinterest.com এটা লিংক এটা আছে, তাতে বহুত এনেকুৱা, মই এই দুটা যে ল'লোঁ এণ্ড্ৰইডৰ মডেলটো আৰু বাল্বটো, এইবিলাক তাৰ পৰাই লোৱা গৈছে ডায়াগ্ৰামবোৰ. ওকে, চ' তোমালোকে তাতে গৈ চাৰ্চ কৰিব পাৰা, চাৰ্চ কৰি যিকোনো এটা ডায়াগ্ৰাম লৈ ইউ কেন প্ৰেক্টিছ. ওকে, প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰোঁতে তোমাৰ যেতিয়া প্ৰেক্টিছ নিজে কৰিব ন দেখোঁতে ইজি যেন লাগে, ইউ উইল ফিল ডেট দিছ থিংছ আৰ ইজি, কিন্তু যেতিয়া নিজে প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিবা দেন অনলি ইউ উইল ফিল দ্য ডিফিকাল্টি, ক'ত কি প্ৰব্লেম হৈ আছে। আৰু প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিলেহে ইউ উইল বিকাম পাৰফেক্ট। বস্তুটো চালে একো নহয়, চালে ইজি যেন নালাগে, ঠিক আছে। চ' প্ৰেক্টিছৰ কাৰণে আই উইল শ্বেয়াৰ দ্য লিংক এগেইন, ইউ কেন লাইক see there, okay, হ'ব then let's stop today. তোমালোকে AutoCAD যদি ডাউনলোড কৰিছা then you can start practicing, বাকি নকৰিলেও এটলিষ্ট আজিৰ ডায়াগ্ৰাম কেইটাই কৰা, isn't it? হ'ব, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.